At a decades-old shop in the East Village, history is something you can wear.
One of my favorite things is things that match. I just think it's such a beautiful look. This has really got a lot of drama, a lot of excitement. The prints. They had just fantastic prints. My name's Delanee Koppersmith, and I own Cobblestones Vintage Clothing Store here in the East Village, and I just started my 41st year.
Amazing. And how do you describe Cobblestones to someone who's never been?
Well, I'll tell you how other people describe it. They always describe it as a treasure trove. So I have to agree with that. And I think that, you know, it's a lot of stuff in a small space, but I always think that if someone is ready to come in, they will find something that they like here, or at least find something that is kind of amazing to them or different. It's just special. I just love these kinds of things. I like the things that are a little bit odd and a little different. That's sort of been my rule of thumb all these years. I grew up on 4th between Avenue C and Avenue D. First thing I ever sold was this beautiful blue glass bead belt. It was $45. And I thought, well, we're on our way. The labels are so beautiful. Just so much history in labels and where some of these things came from. I think it says 1941.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my favorite era. I like the 1930s. I like the 1940s. They're so polished, you know, with the hats and the gloves. And I just think people generally, you know, when they're dressed up, they feel differently and they hold themselves differently.
How would you describe your typical customer?
Well, of course, we're in the area with all the students, and I feel a little bit like a mother figure in certain cases because I'm just very interested in what they do, you know, and sometimes I think I talk too much because, you know, they're in here and I'm asking what they do or where they're from. We have lots of visitors, and, you know, they got to go to lunch or something, and I've just, you know, taken up the time. They might have found something to buy. And, you know, we have a lot of people that come here from the designers who look for inspiration, you know. It might be the hardware or the shape of the bag or the heel of a shoe. But I recommend everyone to look into vintage. I know I hear more and more that people come in and say, oh, this is my first time in a vintage store, and they're not really quite sure what it's really all about, you know, but they do see things that they like.
I bet you that you could get a great prom outfit here.
Oh, I'll show you one of them.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
Color.
It
I call
is.
it pink parfait.
What would you say is your favorite thing about fashion?
Well, I just think it's great fun for a person's personality to be shown on the outside. People have so much style from A to Z. And I think when you get up in the morning and you're trying to decide what to wear, it's such a fun and exciting thing to do.
What better place to get inspiration than New York City, and specifically this area?
People always ask me, are there too many vintage stores on this block? Because I think right now we might have 4. And I say, no. Never too many, because each vintage store has its own flavor. You know, whether they like the 80s vintage or the 20s vintage, that's what they specialize in. And everyone, what I do say is that I hope they just come from this end of 2nd Avenue and not that, because I don't want them to spend their money at that end before they get over there.
What do you hope for the future of Cobblestones?
Is that I don't need a tall, dark, handsome man who likes dogs? Away from all this glitz and glamour? I just hope that I'm here forever.